Yo, what is going on, guys? Johnny here, and today I want to talk about my three-step system on how I was able to get in the best shape of my life. And I'm going to share it with you guys. And let's get started right now. So I wrote down some notes, and the three big pillars are the dieting, the training, and the mindset required that got me to where I am today. And of these three pillars, each of these has three smaller subcomponents to them. So we're gonna get started with the dieting because that is one of the most important parts when it came to my transformation. Honestly, it's gonna be really close to being tied with the mindset, but we're just gonna go with dieting. So number one, what I did with my dieting was fasting. And I have to give big credits to Kinobody. The founder is Greg O'Gallagher. Basically, the fasting that I do is I fast as long as I can whenever I wake up. And I love this rule because it's so flexible because you can wake up at whatever fucking time you want. Like most people, they're not gonna wake up at the same time. And if you do wake up at the same time, more power to you. It doesn't really matter. Basically, whenever time you wake up, you can wake up at 6 in the morning, you can wake up at 12 p.m. Sometimes I've woken up at like 1 p.m. The rule still applies. You fast as long as you can until you get very hungry. Ever since I started doing that, it really taught me the feeling of true hunger. And that was one thing that has really helped me maintain or to actually burn fat and to keep the fat off. Because when I learned to only eat when I was really hungry, I really only had 2 to 3 big meals per day. And that's actually going to be the second aspect of the dieting part is I only have 2 to 3 big meals per day with some occasional snacking on high protein stuff. And the biggest reason this has helped me when it comes to losing body fat is because the 2 to 3 big meals, when you have that, it eliminates your snacking cravings. And one of the most common reasons for why guys gain a lot of body fat is because they snack a lot. And I just learned this from a podcast today. If you're snacking all the time, very frequently throughout the day, you're never gonna be really hungry for like a real big meal. And that makes sense because if you're always eating when you're just like a little bit hungry and you eat it all throughout the day, yeah, you're never gonna have like one big ass meal where you're like, fuck, I deserve this meal. Fuck, I need to eat, right? Versus me, when I learned to eat these 2 to 3 big meals, the first meal being after fasting as long as I can after waking up, that first meal is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to eat this. And because when you're fasting, there's something called stomach distensibility where your stomach actually shrinks while you fast. And that means when you have a meal, you get fuller faster because your stomach is not used to being stretched all the time because you haven't eaten in a long time. So fasting as long as I can after waking up, I still do that to this day. And then eating 2 to 3 big meals per day has really helped me burn fat, get lean, and to stay lean. And finally, the last component when it comes to the dieting is I focus on eating real food as close to 100% of the time as I can. Now, eating real whole foods, you're gonna get the most nutrients from it. They have the most vitamins and minerals. So it's actually gonna make you feel good internally, give you good energy, make you focus better. Plus, in general, they're just lowering calories. So if you can really focus on lowering the calories as much as you can, then you're gonna be maximizing your chances of losing body fat. So when I first started on my journey, when I got really serious about fat loss, this was back in 2022, I transitioned basically from eating a lot of monk food, a lot of junk food, into eating real whole foods. And the real whole foods I really focused on was rice, vegetables, chicken. Actually, I don't think I ate beef at all because I just found it like really annoying to cook beef at the time for some reason. So the majority of my diet was eggs and chicken. Those were like my 2 main protein sources. I think I had some protein supplements as well, like a whey protein powder, and mixed that with some milk. But basically eggs, chicken, milk, and protein powder. those were my high protein options. And then the other half, the other foods I ate were vegetables, rice, fruits, anything that's real whole foods. And that's still what I do to this day. So I used to track calories when I first started, but I don't track anymore. I just use a portion size hand method. Basically, every single meal that I have now, at least 50% of my meal has to be a lean protein source. And guys, I'm moving a lot because I just got done eating and I kind of want to move my body. I don't want to stay still. So I apologize if it's really distracting. I need to put like a treadmill here and just like, I should do that next time. But yeah, so those are the three components when it comes to the dieting that has really helped me get in the best shape of my life is fasting as long as I can after waking up, eating 2 to 3 big meals per day of real food, and then making sure that at least half of my meal is filled with a lean protein source. And if you guys follow my content, you guys know that I eat Chipotle every single day. So that's my current diet. And Chipotle covers these components perfectly. So if I can just give you a quick breakdown of my diet, I wake up around like 11 in the morning. I fast for like 3 to 4 hours, and I have Chipotle as my first meal. Then I work. And then when I get hungry again, I just have Chipotle again. And then if I get hungry again, I stay up a little later, have like a protein bar, or usually it's been protein bars. That's it. That's my diet. Okay, number 2, we're gonna get into the training aspect. This is where you start building muscle. Okay, so this is getting more into a cool part. So the training is very important when it comes to building muscle. And actually, the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is. And that is because muscle is very metabolically active. So that means that the more muscle you have in your body, the more calories you burn just to keep your muscle there. So think of it as like a positive burden. What is the opposite of a burden? I don't know. But the more muscle you have in your body, the more it requires energy, which is calories, to just maintain it. This is why a person who has more muscle compared to a person who doesn't have as much muscle mass, the person who has more muscle is going to burn more calories by doing nothing. It's because the muscle is very metabolically active, you burn a lot more calories. This is going to help you stay lean. And the 3 components when it comes to the training that I do is going to be number 1, the workout split. I do push-pull legs. I've tried full body splits. I've tried Arnold splits. I've tried a lot of different other splits. I think I actually tried every single split out there. And I found that the most fun and consistent one I can be on is the push-pull legs because it optimizes the recovery. So when you're doing push, you're working your push muscles, which is going to be your chest, shoulders, and triceps. The next day you do your pull day. Then the day after you do legs. And then the day after that you do push again. By the time you do push again, you have at least 72 full hours of rest for your muscles, which means that it's like a perfect loop if you were to work out every single day, which is not going to be realistic, which means that if you actually have some rest days, you're going to get even more rest. That's plenty of rest for your muscles to recover and to get bigger and to get stronger. So number 1, push-pull legs. I fucking love this split. You're basically working the muscles that are very functional. If you're doing like a press, you're working your shoulders, your triceps, and a little bit of your chest. So you might as well just work out all those muscles rather than doing like a chest and you do like a back. It's like you're working opposite muscles. You can do that, but I digress. I love push-pull legs. That's helped me stay the most consistent when it comes to my actual workouts in the gym. Number 2 is progressive overload. This one is very commonly overlooked. If you guys are not building muscle because you're not doing progressive overload. Progressive overload is progressively over time you're getting stronger. And you do this in the form by doing an extra rep or you're putting on more weight. So if you have a small chest or you have small arms and you're not able to build muscle there, it's because you're stuck at the same weight. You're not pushing yourself. If I always do 15-pound dumbbell curls for 8 reps every single time, you're not going to build muscle because your muscles are already used to doing that. You have to challenge yourself just a little bit. So if I always do 15 pounds and all of a sudden the next bicep exercise workout that I do for my pull day is going to be 20 pounds, you're going to build muscle because you're giving it that stimulus to grow. Okay? That has been a game changer for me. Once I learned that early on, I've been building muscle very easily because I was just following a systemized approach. Finally, intensity. That's the last component of the training, intensity. This one is more so on a perceived basis. So on a scale of 1 through 10, 10 being the hardest workout of my life, if you really want to successfully and consistently build muscle, you need to be around an 8 or above every single lifting workout that you do. And what helps with that is tracking. So when you track your lifts and you see, oh, I only did 15 push-ups last time, let me aim for 16. That's progressive overload, but that's also intensity. Intensity is how hard you push yourself. And at this point in my career, sometimes I don't track, but then I know the feeling of pushing myself hard. It's just uncomfortable. So you kind of get to learn how it feels to be a little bit uncomfortable, to push yourself to build muscle. But I do got to say, I got to keep myself in check. I haven't been tracking and I haven't been building the muscle that I am satisfied with. So I'm going to get back into tracking and really packing on some muscle mass. So those are the 3 components of the training. Finally, we're going to move on to the mindset part. And I'm really excited about this one. The 3 components of the mindset that I use to transform from being skinny and fat. If you guys didn't know, I was very skinny in middle school and high school, and then when I got to college, I got really fat, and now I'm here. The 3 components of the mindset that really helped me transform through all of those stages is number 1, just letting it go. Don't put too much stress on the outcome. Just take a chill. Enjoy the process. Actually learn to have fun. You want to have fun during the journey. If you don't have fun, you're going to be demotivated very fast. Seriously, fitness is my passion. That's been one advantage I have over a lot of other people, and that's okay. Other people, they have passion for different things that they're way better than me at. It's all about like whatever you are naturally good at. And for fitness, I just picked it up pretty fast and I just enjoyed it pretty fast. So let it flow. You know, you want to set your intention of getting in really good shape, but just like let it flow, enjoy the process. That's the mindset you want to be at. Number 2, you got to be inspired. I don't know if anyone talks about this, but like I love being inspired by people. Like me being inspired by these role models, by these mentors that I follow, by these movie stars, actors. When they inspire me, it gives me that sense of feeling where it's like, fuck, I want to be like them. And then I use that momentum to propel myself forward and take action so I can become like them. This is very important. Because if you're not inspired, then why would you want to change? Being inspired helps you want to change. It gives you that initial spark to keep going. And even to this day, there's people I look at, I'm like, damn, I want to look like that. Because it helps paint you a vision on what's possible for you. So that's what helped me a lot when I got started and how I transformed. And there were really 2 guys that I looked up to. One was Kinobody and the other guy is Kevin Lowe. And finally, the last part is who gives a fuck. I wrote it down. It says who gives a fuck. Like who gives a look. The last part of the video. Like I said earlier, you want to set your intention, work hard, but at the end of the day, if you know you pushed very hard, then who gives a fuck what the outcome is? The important part of not giving a fuck, while also giving a fuck at the same time, is that you don't give a fuck about the outcome and not seeing the results that you want super, super fast. Because the reality is, you're not going to see results as fast as you would like. Sure, you can lose weight pretty fast within a week, and you can see that on the scale. But when it comes to building muscle, and when it comes to actually being in a physique that you're very proud of, like guys, this took me fucking 7 years to get here. Almost 8 now. You gotta enjoy the process. Don't give a fuck too much about how much you look. Like, of course, I wish I had bigger biceps. I wish my muscles they looked even. I wish I had different genetics for my muscles. But what can I do? I can only focus on the things that I'm doing right now. So guys, those were the 3 components of the system that I used to get in the best shape of my life. Just a quick recap: the dieting part, the training part, the mindset part. For the dieting, I fast as long as I can after waking up. I focus on eating real food, and I focus on eating 2 to 3 big satisfying meals to eliminate my craving to snack throughout the day. Number 2, the training. I do push-pull legs, and I do that at almost every single day, 5 to 6 days a week. And with that, I focus on progressive overload. I focus on getting stronger, at least by 1 exercise week by week, so I can build muscle. Because you only build muscle when you're pushing your muscles. And then I focus on intensity over volume. You don't need to be in the gym for over an hour. 50 minutes or less is literally all you need if you're pushing yourself very, very hard. And the mindset, let it flow, enjoy the process, okay? Fitness is not everything, it just amplifies who you are. Of course, you want to be in great shape, but then you don't want to be the guy living in the gym 3 hours a day, eating fucking broccoli and chicken breast and rice, and being that guy, unless you're like a professional bodybuilder. But we're not trying to be a professional bodybuilder, okay? So let it flow. Don't give a fuck too much about the outcome. Focus on what you can do, and the outcome will happen so long as you're following the right system. And if you're watching me, you're following the right system. And then, what was it? Feeling inspired. If I inspire you, that's awesome. If there's other people that inspire you, it's awesome. Take advantage of that. Learn from them. Feel that emotion. If I had to end this video, it's gonna be fucking this, guys. This is the key to transforming. You think out into the future, who you want to become. Who is it? Who is this person you want to become? And then once you find that person, I want to be like this. I want to be jacked, ripped, lean. I want to be confident. Imagine how that guy feels, and you take the fucking emotions from the future and you bring it to where you are now. You feel it, and then you start taking action based on that feeling. That is key. This is what I did when I first started. When I was fat during COVID, gaming all the time, fucking broke, I looked up to Kevin Lowe, lean, ripped athlete. He looks super good. He still looks very good right now. I'm like, I'm gonna look like that. What does he do? He jumps ropes. He skips rope. He lifts weights. He's athletic. Let me do that. If you can do that, thank me later. Put in the comments. And thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys made it this far, I appreciate you guys so much. Stay grinding.